240 hours. There you go. If you just wanted to know how long true 100% in Tears of the Kingdom would take the average gamer without glitches or exploits, it's about 240 hours. Make sure to like the video on your way out. Now, if you're a person of class and want to see just how this was done and just how much suffering was involved, and strap in, buckle up, strap on, because this is getting true 100% in Tears of the Kingdom without glitches or exploits. Why glitchless, you might ask? Well, first of all, it's not because I have a problem with speedrunning tech or glitches. I'm not going to try to tell you how to play a game, especially not a single-player game. Who cares? Well, just play it the way you want to play it. But with just how many dupe glitches has been found since this game is released, I figured that anybody going for true 100% in this game, or at least 99% of them, were just going to use the dupe glitches to do most of the grind. And I, like a fool, wanted to see just how bad that grind is. You know, I'm just curious. How long did it take? 28 days. Oh buddy, let me tell you. It was bad. Oh no, it was not good. I don't think I need to tell you that Tears of the Kingdom is a big game. That being said, I feel like a lot of you maybe don't understand just how big of a game it is. I'll just walk through my handy notebook here and... You ready? 152 shrines, 120 light roots, 15 skyview towers, 14 stables, 4 great fairies and the horse god, 12 dragon tears, 30 device dispensers, 2 ancient tech labs, 7 bargainer statues, 1,000 korok seeds, 58 wells, 36 chasms, 194 cave entrances, 10 villages, all dungeons, all the settlements and named map locations, special shops and crystal refineries, 509 Hyrule Compendium entries, including 92 creatures, 110 monsters, 126 materials, 175 pictures of equipment, 6 treasures, not to mention the quest completion of 23 main quests, 66 side adventures, 31 shrine quests, 139 side quests, 18 memories, all the sage vows, pad camera, fuel energy cell, paraglider, 3 travel medallions, earthquake manual, 12 schema stones, 34 Yika schematics, 31 old maps, 20 points card, 1 Duga monster medal, stone talus monster medal, Hinox monster medal, flux construct monster medal, Leok monster medal, Frox monster medal, the traveler's saddle and bridle, the towing harness, stable saddle and bridle, royal saddle and bridle, monster saddle and bridle, knight saddle and bridle, extravagant saddle and bridle, all the paraglider fabrics, all the armor sets, 22 character profiles, 81 Hudson signs, 228 recipes. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Bro, get a life. And first of all, hurtful. But the rest of you are probably thinking, dear God, where do I even start on this list? And the answer I found was just to play through the game normally. Yeah, just beat the game first. I will say that I am someone who really enjoys clearing out fog of war from maps in games like this. So throughout my playthrough, I did all 120 light roots, got all the shrines, I got all the towers, I got all the wells as well. As for the wells, 58 didn't sound like that crazy of a number, and not gonna lie, wandering around the countryside and seeing the Sensor Plus light up and make that noise to let me know that it was a well nearby kind of just flooded my brain with serotonin. And now that I say that, it kind of sounds like I Pavloved myself. Well, anyways, all this is to say that the first 11 days was fairly standard game playing behavior. I just wandered around, made a plan occasionally to go and do something or to accomplish something, but overall, I was just playing the game to enjoy it. And after beating the game, obviously, I wanted to do more, so I decided to do everything. Now, just as a quick aside, before Tears of the Kingdom came out, I also spent about 5 weeks getting true 100% in Breath of the Wild, and that took me about 19 days. With that 11 days of Tears of the Kingdom, that's about 30 days I've spent in the Zelda franchise, and you would think that after a month, I'd be over it. But no, little worm in my head wasn't satisfied yet. So clearly this meant I needed to sink another month of my life into the Zelda franchise to be satisfied finally. Maybe it's a constant battle, truthfully. Either way, on day 12, blissfully unaware of just how long this would take me, I figured I needed to start somewhere. So I set out to do all 1000 korok seeds and just get those out of the way. One important note here, now that I'd beaten the game and done everything I knew I would want to do in my normal play experience, I had zero qualms about just looking up the locations of everything left to collect, essentially. So I used the interactive maps from Zelda Dungeons and gamer guides to help me keep track of everything, essentially. Now, as I mentioned before, I did true 100% in Breath of the Wild before playing Tears of the Kingdom, and getting all 900 korok seeds in that game took me about 9 days, but that was while I was also learning how to wind bomb and doing other assorted speedrun tech. What I soon discovered, though, was that wind bombs are slow as hell compared to just plopping out a flying machine on demand. Seriously, folks, it took me 4 days to get all 1000 korok seeds, and that was with occasionally stopping to help Addison with signs and any other random nonsense that happened. I will say there was about an hour or two of despair on the final day of korok seeds where I very slowly realized there's a solid chance I might have missed one somewhere, that I was missing korok seeds. 2, I'm missing 2, that means 2? 2? But I mean, after like, I think an hour, maybe more, of checking locations again. Traveler's Well, damn it. How about in Harlequin Valley, damn it. We did over here, damn it. Here, we got that one, damn it. Damn it. Damn it. What about the 3 over here? Oh? Why would I have marked this one? Why am I stupid? Eventually found our stragglers and was right back to getting Hetsu's gift. Honestly, getting all the seeds in Tears of the Kingdom, way more fun and way smoother of an experience than it was in Breath of the Wild. Plus also, the existence of the backpack koroks did allow you to take some frustration out. So with 1000 seeds down, rather uneventfully, I moved on to finding the rest of the cave entrances I was missing and collecting booble gems. All of that took me the most of day 16, and I honestly expected it to take longer. Again, during the korok seeds and the caves and the booble gems, I was also taking time to make sure I did any Addison sign puzzles I came across. And so on the back half of day 16 and the start of day 17, perfectly engineered solutions to the rest of the 81 Addison signs and got my prize. I'm sure at this point you're wondering, hey man, what about all that suffering you were hyping up at the start of this? Things look like they've been going rather smooth for you so far, downright pleasant even. And you're right, up to this point, it's been a pretty good time, honestly. But hey, remember the 28 days that I said at the start of this? There's 11 more days left to go, and they're dedicated to one aspect of true 100%. Getting all armor and upgrading all the armor to max. Getting all armor is rather straightforward. Just go find the chest the armor's in, or go buy it.
Put armor upgrades.
Some of you already know why this hurts, but for the unaware, the rupee and item economy in this game is fucked. Just as one example, in Breath of the Wild, unlocking the Great Fairies just required a flat upfront fee, a little bit less than 20,000 rupees to upgrade all the armor pieces. In Tears of the Kingdom, you don't have to pay to unlock the fairies, but you do have to pay for each level of upgrade. With 4 levels of upgrades, each armor set is gonna run you about 2,280 rupees. I'll spare you the math. It's roughly about 80,000 rupees to upgrade every piece of armor in this game. Oh, but Stanky, that's fine. I'll just sell gemstones to fund all 80,000 rupees to upgrade the armor. No, you won't. You won't dare sell those gemstones if you know what's good for you. You need all of those gemstones for upgrades. Don't fucking sell them. Your best bet for fundraising money is just selling monster parts you don't need. But even if you bankroll Link with a small Hyrule fortune, that does not save you from the true heart of evil here. Material farming. It's at this point that I'm gonna tell you, do whatever you can to not have to farm. Don't do it to yourself, dude. Don't do it. I've already given you like a brief glimpse behind the veil of material farming, but now let's really just pull back the curtains so you can really see what true despair looks like. I won't leave you to peruse through this on your own. Let's just look at a few problem children, shall we? Just so you understand why it took 11 days. The first thing we should really discuss are dragon materials. You need about 13 to 14 of various parts from each dragon. In Tears of the Kingdom, if you want a material from a dragon, you can get one, that's fine. But you gotta wait 10 minutes. 10 IRL real-life minutes for a dragon to recharge in order for you to grab another part. Dragon materials may sound, you know, not great to get. If you look through that list, you need over 100 of each gemstone, aside from diamonds. At least some gemstones enter ludicrous numbers. And sure, you're saying, you know, I'll just go farm some stone taluses and cool, good luck for you. Have you thought about Captain Horns? In Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, there's a secret experience system going on where every time you kill like a decently difficult monster, you're getting player experience essentially. And there's different thresholds of world level. The world will spawn more and more difficult monsters. Now, some of you are probably going, oh, that's a cool little feature. I love that. The world like kind of responds and grows to your actions and progress. That's cool. I agree, that is a cool system. Not for fucking farming, it's not. At least in the case of Captain Constructs, there's not very many spots where things like Captain Construct 1s and 2s spawn. There's plenty of spaces for 4s. 1s and 2s, there's very few hard-coded spots. Wanna know how I know? Wanna take a guess? The low amount of areas where those spawn is not even the biggest problem with farming those creatures. It's that if you don't get 15 of all of those horns, you have to wait for them to respawn. But guess what? They don't spawn after blood moons. They're not Ganon's minions. They're on some secret other second timer, which I still don't know. So you just have to go and check like every 5 in real life hours to see if they've respawned. And if you think the Captain Horns are bad, baby, oh my, I have not even told you about the worst part. The absolute worst offender of this challenge are Lizalfo's tails. God. Oh, lizard tails. Oh. Calm it down. Okay. So, lizard tails. In Breath of the Wild, lizard tails were pretty much like a guaranteed drop from higher rarity lizards, and even like some elemental lizards had a pretty high drop chance. But in Tears of the Kingdom, due to every monster now having a guaranteed item drop from horns, apparently Nintendo was like, hey, we should really just like lower the chance of the other items from spawning so that we don't. I'm guessing it was either a way to like reduce the number of spawned entities in the game when things are getting real hectic, or B, they just wanted to fuck with you. I don't know. Because the drop chance of lizard tails is anywhere from like 5 to 20%. I'm saying it's roughly a 20% chance because after getting 54 ice breath tails, I noticed I had roughly about 300 ice breath horns. So, you know, that's some easy math right there to kind of calculate the drop chance. But yeah, you just heard that number, right? 54 ice breath tails? That's just the ice breath tails. You need like 54 electric tails and 48 fire tails. Is it 48 or 54? It's 48. So you need a grand total of like 150 lizard tails. And again, they're a 20% drop chance. You also need like 18 normal lizard tails, but you can buy them in batches of 3 from Kara Bazaar, so those don't even count. You can just buy those. But the other 158 lizard tails? Oh, buddy. I don't know if you've played too much Tears of the Kingdom, but there's not a lot of spots where these lizards spawn. Don't, if you are going to do this legit, for some god-awful reason, you're not going to dupe these tails. Here's my best piece of advice for you. Go to the area in Guru Mesa around Spectacle Rock, because there are camps of 2 to 3 lizards spread out all over the place. And in the morning, there's fire lizards, and at night, there's ice lizards, and they're on their own separate spawns, so you can wipe out the entire field of fire lizards, wait till night, and the ice lizards will spawn at those camps. But even with that godsend of an area, there's really only like maybe 40 or 50 lizards that spawn there total. And because of that, and because I also consider forcing a blood moon to spawn as an exploit essentially, and I'm not going to do that in this playthrough, I had to wait like 3 or 4 hours before the lizards would respawn. All this is to say that it took me 4 days just to get all the lizard tails. 4 days. This is where the true pain of this challenge is the goddamn lizard tails, dude. Thankfully, I guess, in some weird up way, waiting for a blood moon to respawn these lizards meant I could go run off and get other armor upgrade materials like plants or actual little lizards, bugs, fish, so much fish, so much fish. And during this time where I was waiting for lizards to respawn, essentially, you know, these were the moments I would take to go and farm some dragon parts too. There was also one other standout material that I would farm, or at least try to farm, and that's star fragments. Now, in Breath of the Wild, you only really needed about like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 star fragments total. I don't even know at this point. And there was a guaranteed way to spawn them by going to the top of Dueling Peaks and looking out across Hyrule Field and waiting for them to drop out of the sky. It was tedious, but it worked. As far as I know, it doesn't work in Tears of the Kingdom. Don't believe his lies. The Breath of the Wild star fragment farming method still works, but at 103 star fragments and roughly about an average of 5 minutes per fragment, that method will take you about 8.5 to 9 hours. And so, again, not to beat a dead horse at this point, due to dupe glitches being so prevalent, finding information on how to farm star fragments that didn't include just duping them was like impossible, dude. And no one was correct. No one knew how any of it worked. There were a few videos that people had released that had methods that were kind of correct, but none of them I saw actually understood the rules behind how star fragments worked. So I did my own testing. We're gonna fast forward a bit to day 28, the last day of this challenge. And that was the day I decided to farm star fragments. I spent like the first hour or two stream testing out different theories on how to spawn star fragments. Star fragments can be broken up into 2 categories. The first one is just the normal star fragment, the ones that are that red streak out of the sky and they crash land and they have that big bright beacon. The other version of star fragments are freefall star fragments. I'm sure you have many stories of where you've been skydiving and one spawns right next to you and you grab it and it's a very cool little moment. I'm here to tell you, those freefall star fragments are probably the most reliable way to farm fragments. A freefall star fragment can only spawn once in a 24-hour period. And wait, before you start jumping in the comments and going, oh, but I've gotten 2 in a night. You've gotten 2 in a night because the 24-hour period resets at midnight. So you got one at either 9 to 11:59 p.m. and you got one immediately after midnight. You can get a freefall fragment as early as 9 p.m. But all you gotta do is pass some time, so you're past that 24-hour period, then just jump off a sky island, and sure enough, within a very short amount of time, a star fragment will spawn next to you. It's that easy. And now, because of these rules, there's 2 farming methods that I kind of settled on. One is you pass forward a day, you jump off, you grab your star fragment, you pass forward another day, you jump off a sky island, you grab your star fragment, rinse, repeat. You could even probably do it from sky towers if you wanted to do that. Location matters on where you get a star fragment from, so bounce between 2 different sky islands. The farming system I settled on was the second method, which was skip forward 2 nights from the campfire, jump off a sky island, grab a star fragment, and go do something else for about 3 or 4 in-game hours. While I was farming for star fragments, I was also gathering materials to cook the 228 recipes in the game, which was nice because the shops reset every day. So I'd go and buy out the stock of like oil and goat butter. Then, by the time midnight rolled around, I would teleport to another sky island, jump off, grab my star fragment, go back to the original sky island, pass forward the time by 2 days, jump off, and then just rinse repeat for more fragments. So now that I've covered the more painful parts of material farming, just want you to know that all of it was still kind of a pain. You need materials from almost like every rarity of monster for some of the armor. Again, like if you're gonna go for upgrading all the armor, I highly recommend that you look at that list that I posted in the description. Don't do it without it, man. So as I said, I was literally farming armor materials for 11 days straight. Thankfully, I was able to do a whole lot of different things and tame them with armor material farming, which meant that on day 28, after getting the last of the star fragments, I didn't really have that much left to do. I finished the rest of the 228 recipes, sold any extra materials I had to fund the purchasing of the rest of the Hyrule Compendium. I found like the last 3 locations on the map that were still eluding me. Dining hall! Got the rest of the paraglider fabrics. This was also the day that I decided to make a bunch of food to upgrade a horse to max stats. And finally, on the 28th day, I built Link a house to retire in. 'cause dear God, that twink needs the rest. And so do I. If you'd like a more detailed day-by-day breakdown of what I did make a series of YouTube shorts found at this playlist. While I'm editing this video, I will probably also be working on uploading the full Twitch VODs to my VOD channel of Tears of the Kingdom 100%. So if you're somebody who wants to have like 6 to 8 hours of background noise, there you go. Thanks for watching. Please consider becoming a patron so I can stop donating plasma to pay for rent and basic living necessities. Bye. I just keep thinking about how much faster this would have gone if I just would have used dupe glitches. Fucking Small Ant did true 100% in 139 hours. That's 100 hours faster than I did. Which means, I mean, I'm no speedrunner, but I think one could safely say that I spent like 100 hours grinding armor materials and other nonsense. Don't do 100%. Don't do 100% the vanilla way. Don't do it, dude. It's not. I, having done it myself, I don't recommend it. Literally use any exploit, glitch, or tool you have at your disposal to make the grind easier. I don't know what the hell Nintendo was thinking with some of these numbers, dude. Holy, oh my god. I do hope that by making this video, somehow someone who has control over the balance of Tears of the Kingdom like sees this video and goes, oh dear God, we messed up the tail spawn rate, and they fix it so that anyone who does this legit way in the future doesn't have to suffer the same way I did. I sure hope that's the outcome of this video. Oh, but I'm not holding my breath.